to expanding your search. With Brent and Jody Bailey, we are growing our circles of connection and knowledge with encouraging conversations and positive communications. Today, Brent and Jody welcome
author, speaker, coach, pastor, and my friend Lynette Lewis.
And now, here are your hosts, Brent and Jody Bailey.
Hey, it is Friday. It is the beginning of the weekend. And I know my mom's always saying to me and Brent, why are you guys always so excited about the weekend? Because it's time. Kids don't have school. They don't have to work on anything. We get to enjoy each other. We get to enjoy the weather. We get to enjoy whatever's going on. And it's Friday. And then Sunday is church. And we get to be together. And so I hope you all have some great plans for this weekend. It's fall and it's in the air. So before we get started on our great show that we have for you, let's go ahead and welcome my handsome husband to the program. There
It's true.
Is.
I am handsome.
Yeah, I didn't do that one, but yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So so what's going on today, babe?
Well, there's lots of things to talk about. Of course, it is Friday. So Friday's a big deal always for us, and it's never not a big deal. So
Yeah.
it's a day that we get to this Friday specifically, the kids are out of school. They're on fall break. So that's really cool. They're actually going to be wanting to stay up late and that kind of thing, and because and so it is. They're out Friday and they're out Monday, so we have a 4-day weekend.
We do.
That we're trying to figure out what do we do.
Yeah, you know what? It's good to just be able to relax and be with each other though too. We I think there's movies coming out this weekend.
Oh yeah, Venom came out last night actually. And, so we'll be probably heading to see that, and
just exciting.
we've talked about what. So if you have kids on fall break, what are your plans? What are you guys going to be doing? Are you going to head out of town? I know there's a lot of folks that are going out of town.
Yeah.
And in Orlando, that's when people come. So there's going to be a lot of people in Orlando going to the parks and that kind of thing. I will say that we are going to do something. We don't know what it is.
We don't know yet.
We better figure it out.
Yeah, we better figure it out. It's today. Exactly. But
all right. Well, here's what today is National Black Dog Day.
Black Dog. Well, look at that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look closer and see what this is because I'm thinking, is this the day that we all play the song by Led Zeppelin, or is this?
I don't know that song.
Yes, you do. Everybody knows Black Dog by Led Zeppelin. Hey, Mama said the way you move, gonna make you sweat, gonna make. Yeah,
that
all right,
one.
So that one is.
Listen to singing there,
that's no, you don't. I don't sound anything like Robert Plant. Anyway. It encourages the adoption of a dog of the darker shades.
Yes.
So if you're going to adopt a dog, today is National Black Dog Day, which we have done.
We have.
We actually adopted a black dog.
Yeah, we did. She
was only with us for a short time.
No.
Rosie.
Right.
Rosie
I was
was
thinking
black,
of the puppies years and years ago.
Oh, yeah.
But yes, Rosie, yes, our baby Rosie, who was probably older than us.
But my parents both have a Rottweiler. And so, we know other people that have darker shade dogs.
Yes.
Our friends, the Comptons, have a big black German Shepherd.
Yes.
But, she's got, or he, is it a he?
It's a she.
It's a she.
Yeah.
She's got brown undershades here. So, I know lots of folks that have done that. So today is National Black Dog Day. Also, today is World Smile Day.
Oh, okay, let's smile.
Oh, yeah, that's one of your best features. So.
Oh, thanks, honey.
Yeah. Today is the day that you're supposed to,
smile at each other. Well, let me just say.
It's the first Friday in October. It devotes a day to smiles and spreading random acts of kindness.
You know what? I think that is a very important thing. I mean, I'm always saying, sometimes if you're walking down the hallway it's whether you're at school or work or whatever it is, you never know what a smile can do for somebody that you're passing in that hallway. And I've always tried to say that, like, to our kids or to when we were doing youth. I really tried to encourage people because, people have bad days, and just a smile sometimes makes people feel better. You know what I'm saying?
It totally does.
Encourage somebody by smiling.
I know. I can't tell you how many people that I've met for the first time. Now, I have, and I'm going to use the PG version of this, but I have what most people know as resting jerk face.
I was going to say, I don't.
Like when when your face is neutral, but people think you're mad.
Yeah.
I have had many people say to me when they first meet me, "Oh, I was so scared of you." But then I've also had people that when they meet me, I was intentionally smiling, and it is a vast different approach, a vast different response, and the first impression that gets made is completely different. So
completely different.
Today is a day we should all be conscious of it. All right,
yes.
Today is also National Manufacturing Day, and the area of the country that I grew up in, we had a big, huge amount of manufacturing. There was a steel plant there. The railroads were in full swing of, repairing it was a repair yard as well as wheelhouse. So there was a thing down there where they repaired the engines and the cars and things like that. There's a refinery there. There's lots of things where they're manufacturing. Of course, in this country in recent times, we have lost hundreds, if not thousands, of manufacturing plants to overseas and things like that. This is a day to really appreciate the American manufacturing process. And so the way that they say to observe it is find local manufacturing events, explore innovative ideas, collaborate on new technologies, really try and bring manufacturing back to what it was here in the United States. It's really a day of awareness.
Awareness,
All right.
Yeah.
All right. This is a good one for you. Here's your food day.
Oh, good.
And I'm going to expect you to honor this tonight.
All right.
This is National Homemade Cookies Day.
Oh, yay!
Now, we don't do a lot of cookies in our house anymore.
And you know what? A few weeks ago, I made homemade
keto cookies. Yes,
with
you sure did.
almond flour and
yes,
and they were really pretty
dark
good.
Chocolate chips.
Dark chocolate chips. So,
and stevia instead of sugar.
I think I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do the Monte Cristo again because it was so good.
I'm all about that. Amen. Amen. Today's also National Hair Day, and this is the day to give a nod to all styles, products, tools, and people who keep our hair healthy.
Oh, come on.
And looking at its best.
Absolutely.
And I am long overdue for a haircut.
You are, and I am as well.
I think both kids are too.
They are. But we do know, some of our closest friends, one of our closest friends is a hair, I don't want to term that, don't want to just say hair dresser, or she's a beautician.
Stylist, there it is.
Jody Neighbor, and
that's right.
She's amazing, and we do know other beauticians.
We do.
But when we were in Tulsa, that's where I went, and since we moved from Tulsa, I haven't found somebody. That's like
regular.
Her.
That's regular. That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So shout out to you, Jody Neighbor.
Yep, we appreciate all of you folks that do hair, and
yes.
I'm in the mood for a haircut myself. So all right, all right. Today's also National Fire Pup Day, recognizing the Dalmatian and those dogs that are the mascots around the warehouse, and National Body Language Day, which I guess this is the day that all paranoid people hate. Because I could tell by their body language something was wrong or something was right.
Yeah.
So it says body language is a form of survival when you can't use words.
Yeah.
So anyway, those are the national days. But here was something I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
I thought was actually really cool. I've noticed a lot of restaurants are starting to step over into each other's turf.
Yes.
Everybody knows that a certain time of year, yes, McDonald's has the McRib. It's been okay. I remember having a version of it in high school. Well, Arby's has come out with a rib-style sandwich that just debuted this week. Everybody's like throwing down this, So, all right, so that was one thing. And then, where was the other one? Here it is. Now, something else that we've been doing a lot of, we instead of just chowing down on sugary sweets and ice cream, which that's been a big problem for us for me. I can't speak for you. For me in the past, it's, get those little pints of Ben & Jerry's or whatever. We've been trying to control ourselves for a while and really do it, in balance and proper proportion, only once in a while. But what has been our go-to when we did want something sweet has been dark chocolate.
Yes.
Thank God for dark chocolate.
Yes.
Well, the company Justin's has debuted new super dark chocolate nut butter cups. Now, they're not saying peanut butter. It's
nut butter.
It's nut butter. So it's made out of almonds or cashews or something like that. They do have a peanut butter version of it as well, but the one they're pushing is the nut butter cups. I'm kind of interested to try that.
Oh, yeah. We've been trying those nut butter, well, not nut butter, but peanut butter, healthier peanut butter, protein candies. All
right, one more thing, and then we'll jump into your interview. There's something up with these clothing. It's restaurants and food lines are coming out with clothing lines. A&W Root Beer just announced a high-end clothing line with their logo on it.
Okay.
Like I thought, well, okay, nobody's going to care about that. Then today, now this is so weird. Oscar Mayer has released a streetwear collection only sold at their Wienermobile pop-up shops. But, it actually looks pretty cool. But I'm just thinking, who wants to wear Oscar Mayer's logo all over you while you're out and about?
No.
Or A&W root beers. When we were growing up, we had the Coke and the Pepsi stuff. You remember that? The Coke?
Yeah.
Everybody wore Coke shirts.
Yeah.
Who's going to wear Oscar Mayer wieners?
You might as well wear a hot dog costume.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Would you wear it? It's actually, I think I would occasionally wear the hoodie. It's the yellow hoodie with the white and red stripes from Oscar Mayer's that comes down.
That's kind of cool, but still, I don't know. You say high end, a high end.
It's what it says here.
Really, a hot dog place, a hot dog company, high end clothes.
I don't know.
It doesn't really.
It doesn't, does it?
No.
Yeah. Anyway.
And here's the question: Isn't it Oscar Mayer? Is it Oscar Mayer that? Oh no, it's Ballpark. Never mind. That plumps when you cook them.
Yeah, but Oscar Mayer had the catchy little theme song.
What was? Oh yeah, Oscar Mayer. Okay.
What kinds of kids eat armor hot dogs? Fat kids, skinny kids, kids that climb on rocks.
Yeah. Remember? Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But yeah, that's interesting. So a sweatshirt. But I don't always call sweatshirts high end. So I don't know.
But there are some $70 and $80 sweatshirts out there.
That's
I don't know
true.
that I would wear one that says Oscar
High price.
Mayer. Yeah.
I know. Anyway, that's funny. Well, is that all we got?
That's it.
Okay, well, listen to me. We have got an amazing program, a great guest for you today. So let's expand your search. My guest today is Lynette Lewis. Her husband, Ron, was on the program a couple weeks ago. We had the two of them on together last year when we first started the podcast, and she is somebody I have known for years. When I went to Oral Roberts University, she had worked for the college, for the university, and traveled a lot as I traveled in the same team. But she has had a career that has taken her from PR and fundraising at Oral Roberts University, other universities, to a senior marketing leader for the National Women's Initiative at Deloitte Touche in New York. She's worked with that firm's largest client teams, including GE Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson. She has a book that is excellent called Climbing the Ladder in Stilettos. And that book has been published in several languages, and it's received such great recognition from numerous places, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Post, the Dallas Morning News. She's also been featured on the Today Show, among so many other national broadcasts. Her professional accomplishments and reliable style has caused audiences ranging from corporate boards and businesses to of thousands to being able to do a TEDx presentation. She was one of the great speakers for TEDx. and has done so many John Maxwell meetings. She's just, you know what? She's done so much. And we have to have her on the program today. I am so excited. She's got so many things that she wants to share with us. She lives with her husband, Ron. Like I said, in New York City, they pastor. And she's got 2 beautiful daughters, twins. She's got sons. She's just, her hands are just full, but she is making things work. Let's go ahead and welcome Lynette Lewis to the program. Hey, Lynette, how are you doing?
Hi, Jody. Good to see you. Always love to be with you and Brent wherever we are around the world or here on your podcast. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you are welcome. How are things going there? Are you in New York right now?
Yes, we are living full time in New York City.
Right. Okay.
We've been in and out during COVID. We took a little time away, but we're back. The city's coming back. Broadway's open again.
Whew. It's about time.
Really excited to see things happening here again. And of course, the city's been through a lot of places been through a lot of things. But yeah, we're excited to be here and everything's going great.
That's awesome. Well, there are so many things. I know that, so many of the experiences you have had, I know that God has blessed you with such a great ability to communicate and get some things across to businesses. And I remember Bob has had you speaking at our events several times, and you are one of my favorite speakers, I just have to tell you. Always, every single time. And watching you speak about your book, Climbing the Ladder in Stilettos, while wearing stilettos, is absolutely so impressive. But you have seen a lot of things go on in the world, in the business world, and everything else surrounding. One of the things that I know that you have experienced, especially being there in New York, is what we're calling the Great Resignation. It's something that's getting a lot of airtime right now, something that you know about so much about, and you're addressing. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, the Great Resignation is something that's a term that's been coined for a massive worldwide phenomenon that can really be traced in many ways back to COVID. And that is just this general discontentment that people have with their careers. So 55% of all people, if you talk to them or interview them, would say right now that they are planning to resign their job in the next year. The average age of that sentiment would be between 30 and 45. That's a big population to be an average. But at all ages, it's affecting people. I know I talk to just dozens and dozens of people each week who are experiencing that. What has happened is that people are realizing through working at home and through having their careers shaken up so much during COVID that they're not necessarily willing to stay the course and just go through the motions anymore. There's this drive, if you will, to have greater meaning, greater fulfillment, perhaps better control over your journey as a career. In your career. So all the major publications are writing about it. The Wall Street Journal, Harvard Business Review, Forbes magazine. There's hardly a week goes by that they're not commenting on it. Because what it does is it presents unique challenges, not only for employers who have this workforce that's shifting in great ways, but also for the individual. And that's one of the things that I relate to. I mean, I've been working professionally now for over 35 years. It's hard to believe that number's real. You know, it goes so fast.
It does.
Junior professional, all through my 20s and early 30s, I kept feeling like I was too young for things. And then all of a sudden you get to this point, you're like, I wonder if I'm a little too old for that now. And you wonder where you were when you were, where was that sweet spot, where I was perfectly aged. But the reality is we all go through seasons where we're discontent or we wonder, could there be something more? And my personal experience with that and passion that came out of that is to really help people to know their purpose at a very defined level. We as Christians know that our purpose ties to the purposes of God clearly in the earth. But I spent 10 wonderful years working at my alma mater, Oral Roberts University. Yeah. Mission for the university is very clear, but even so, as an individual employee, we have to find our own purpose. That's what I became very involved in doing for myself first, in my first career at ORU, and then ultimately got it very organized and defined when I worked at Deloitte, to the point of rolling a program out that I call Leading on Purpose, and I've now been doing it for 20 years. And as this Great Resignation starts colliding with the workforce, I believe it's a really valuable time for people to get serious about knowing their life purpose and then connecting it to the job they have now. And that's the real distinctive, because it's one thing to know your purpose and then think, oh no, I've got to leave my job. I'm a firm believer that if you know your purpose, it's like a GPS, and it can guide various paths through the career you have now, your workplace, the place you've spent a lot of time building networks and experience and credibility. Why not stay where you are and experiment with your purpose in a whole new way?
Well, so you mentioned the program Leading with Purpose, and so can you explain a little bit more, like how do people get involved with this program, and how is it, we can just say generally the benefits of it, but tell us a little bit more about all of that.
Sure. So one of the things that I started realizing probably when I got into my late 20s and where this purpose program started taking root and getting developed was I was discontent with my life in a lot of ways, and I couldn't quite figure out what it was. I knew that I was still single and thought I'd be married by then. My personal life didn't quite seem what I thought. But as I mentioned, I'm working for a Christian university and I'm enjoying my job, but I need a greater sense of I'm in the driver's seat for my career. Never expected to really be a career woman. Now, nearly 40 years later, very glad God gave that to me, but it took some definition along the way. And when I work with people on their purpose, it is about defining in a succinct sentence what your purpose in life is. And there's a process I've developed, a system I've developed where you look through adjectives, you look through words, you work in company with a partner in many cases, although I've recently put the whole program online so that anyone can do it from anywhere. And you can work your way through some diagnostics in order to know what really moves you. Your purpose will answer the question, why? Why am I here? It'll be a broad level answer, but it'll be definitive. Mission, on the other hand, answers the question, what? Once you know your purpose, which is your why, then you're going to have multiple missions going on simultaneously. You can see that in the roles we play. As a mom, as a wife, as a friend, sister, worker, you might have 5 job descriptions at your job. So you have these different talents and skills. All of them represent a mission, but unless you know the why behind the mission, it becomes challenging. And what happens the older you get in your career and in your professional pursuits is you become very good at a set of things, but they may not necessarily be what you love and what you want to do. And that brings us back to that Great Resignation. So it's really been exciting for me to watch. I was just this weekend in New Orleans working with a group of 20 women leaders, and I do the program for men and women. It's not just female centric. But we were working with 20 women influencers from New Orleans. They're working with a nonprofit, and the director of the nonprofit wanted to help these women identify their own purpose and then in turn be equipped to take this learning to the entire city of New Orleans. They're doing feeding programs and post-Hurricane Ida programs. But she wants her leaders to know their own purpose so that they can get so much more, not only out of their own volunteering, but helping other people find the same. And it was the same result as I always get. People's hearts begin to sing. Oftentimes they'll start weeping when they step up at the end and begin to state their life purpose. It chokes people up and they get embarrassed, and I'll say, don't worry about it. It happens to all of us. Because in our hearts, Jody, we all know, it's written on the DNA of our heart, we are made for a purpose. Even when I do this in secular workplaces, I start by saying you're created for a purpose. Without ever being able to use the vocabulary of a Christian, people know it and their hearts say yes.
Yeah. Well, once somebody discovers their purpose, I mean, they can come to the program but life happens. And what happens and what would you advise people that once they've learned their purpose, how can they align their day, their everyday walk more with that purpose?
Great question. One of the things that I always tell people after they know their purpose is to select a dream that they really want to pursue. And this begins to be the fertile ground for experimenting with their purpose and trying to get more in line. So for instance, when I was at Deloitte and got my purpose statement written, all by myself with the system I was creating for my own survival, especially after 9/11 when everybody was dispersed all over New York and nobody really had time to counsel anyone. I decided, okay, I'm going to get my purpose. So I had my purpose and I looked at my job description and I tried to identify those elements of my job that related to my purpose statement and then begin to pursue those experiences. So we were doing a rollout of a major sales program to train practitioners on selling to clients. And I asked my boss if I could get more active in that selling process because my purpose being to inspire and motivate people, that's a succinct version. I thought, I bet I'd get to do more of that if I was helping train individuals on how to win more business. And so got actively involved as an experiment. And that's the tip here is when you know your purpose, you just look at yourself as an innovator. I'm going to start experimenting. Maybe it's at your church. I tell everyone that volunteers with us, hey, let this women's ministry or let whatever area you're involved in be an experimental zone for you to try new things. One woman on a Zoom call a couple weeks ago, she said, I've just got promoted at the bank I work for here in New York, but I'm more excited about this women's ministry work because my purpose connects to it even better. And that's why we do it. We just start experimenting. We look for ways to connect and we just go for it. And before long, you find your lane, you feel more on purpose, and the fulfillment factor goes up, up, up. And the great news is, it doesn't have to be your boss, your paycheck, projects. It's you in the driver's seat, aiming for what God put in your heart.
You know, while, we've been all going through this pandemic and, there's lots of people that are just going back to life as normal.
Right.
Nothing's completely normal. But I would say there are a lot of people whose lives have kind of been put on hold. There are people that are losing jobs for one reason or another. And so they're trying to discover their purpose. What would you say is the one key that would be most effective if somebody wants to start finding their purpose, exploring their purpose? What would you say would be the key?
Well, first of all, the whole program is online. I'd love for people to check it out. It's extremely affordable, $79 for 6 modules. And I didn't intend to sell it this way, but I'm passionate about it and I put it out there. I mean, 1 hour of coaching would be close to $400 for most executive coaches. Wow. And you can get all of these modules. These are what I worked on for the last 20 years. And it helps walk you through all the processes. But the first really beginning start is to say, what are those activities within the work I do or my experience as a professional that bring me the most joy and satisfaction? Yeah. Because purpose and why you're created will always cause your heart to sing. It will always make you come alive. And the good news then is when you find it, all the other things don't matter near as much. The paycheck, whether you're recognized, whether you're famous or not, whether anyone's buying your materials or whatever you happen to do, you just know you're a steward of a gift that God's given you. Yeah. And that's your purpose. And boy, it's just the way God made us. And so that's where I would start. I would check out an online program like mine, but then I would just begin to walk your way through it and experiment, and then look at yourself as an innovator, find new creative ways to try things. And before long, you'll have a good sense of what it is.
Lynette, I don't know how the time has passed so quickly, but I want to thank you so much for being a guest today on the podcast. Listen, there's her information. You can get all the information you need as far as the program is concerned at LynetteLewis.com. You can look her up, Lynette Lewis, on Instagram and Facebook, and Lynette Lewis _ on Twitter. Listen, she's got so much great information, so much great knowledge and wisdom when it comes to finding your purpose and actually really going after it and doing it. Again, Lynette, thank you so much for being with us today, for taking the time and being with us. It's always a wonderful joy to see you, to talk with you, and obviously to hear what's going on in your life.
Well, Jody, I'm a big fan of yours, friend. Thanks for what you guys are doing to bring hope to the world. It's all just so fun to watch.
Thank you so much. Have an amazing rest of your day. All right, let's stop for directions. Purpose. The definition of it is the reason for which something is done or created, or for which something exists. Lynette said something in the interview that stuck out to me when trying to find out what your purpose is. Purpose is the thing that you do or you think about that causes you to feel happy and confident. It's what you think about and dream about when you first wake up in the morning. It's the confidence of knowing why you are actually here. But too many people in this world have gotten so distracted and wrapped up in what they should do or what they need to be doing, and I'm guilty of it myself. But what happens is we lose sight of our purpose or our calling when we do that. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you a hope and to give you a future." Understand that those things that are within you, the things that you tend to dream about and think about, are God-placed. If God's behind it, then your purpose will succeed. We all have a purpose in this life, and some sort, whether it's starting a corporation, being a missionary, starting an event company, being a stay-at-home parent, being a doctor, being a teacher, whatever it is, do what you love to do and allow yourself to dream big and to imagine yourself, along with God's help and the wisdom from others like Lynette Lewis, fulfilling that dream. But realize that it's not just for your own self-satisfaction. Allow your purpose to affect other people's lives, to inspire others, to encourage others, and know that in doing so, you will experience satisfaction beyond what you can even imagine. That's going to wrap it up for our show today. I want to thank Lynette Lewis so much again for being on the program. It was such a joy to have her. Don't forget, if you want more information on her Leading on Purpose program, go to her website, LynetteLewis.com, and you can get all the information you need to do that. Thanks also to my handsome and amazing hubby and my co-host Brent for switching jobs with me today and running the tech booth. Until next week, I hope you found what you have been looking for as you expanded your search. Have an amazing day and an amazing weekend, everyone.
Thanks for joining us today. Connect with us on @ExpandingYourSearch on Facebook and Instagram and @ExpandingSearch on Twitter. Relive any of our episodes on YouTube. We're available wherever podcasts are found, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. You can also download the Direction Ministries app on iOS, Android, Apple TV, Roku, and Amazon Fire. Take some time today to expand your search